Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cassie and today we're going to be doing a little deep dive, or I don't even know how deep we'll get, but a little dive into the 2 weeks that I spent away in Europe. I was on holiday with my partner and we had to visit as many yarn stores as we could possibly fit in, at least one in every city that we visited. And so I have some haul yarn for you to see today. If you are not into hauls, this is maybe not the video for you. If you would like to see haul with some European scenery and a little brief breakdown of the cities I went to, then maybe you'll want to stay for that. Regardless, I think it's going to be a fun one. So you choose. I don't usually do haul videos, but I did pick up quite a few things just because I was on vacation and I wanted, this is like my souvenir. This is like my style of traveling. So at least now it is. It didn't used to be this way. So let's get into my travels, where I visited, what I got there, and all that. Okay, so I've got my bag here. You may be able to see it, I can't tell, but this is from Loop in London, and this is the first yarn store that I went to while we were traveling. It was the one that I think came the most highly recommended. I guess it's quite famous, and it is in a very, very cute part of town. We went and we got vegan Chinese food, which was so good. I really liked it. I think it was called Tofu Vegan, and I believe the area is Islington. And we just really liked it over there. There's a really cool movie theater that we wanted to go to, but we didn't quite have time. And then we also went to this lovely old pub that's basically like across the street from the yarn store that were serving cask ales, and we really liked that as well. So if you want to even just go into that area, I do recommend, because it is a super cute place to spend an afternoon. That's what we did. We just found it really sweet. Lots of little vendors and lots of cool shops to check out. So it's definitely a good spot. But the yarn store itself, it was my first, I should have realistically maybe held back a little bit. However, I did not, because I was so excited. I just wanted to really get it. I just was really excited. So I did not hold back. I went full throttle. And this is the bigger of the purchases, I guess. I have one more of these, but it's currently balled up. This is the Knit by Numbers double knit, so DK yarn. And I'll hold up it a little bit closer so you can see the color. It's this really lovely charcoal gray, but it's quite a dynamic charcoal gray. And because the name of the company is Knit by Numbers, they only do their colors in numbers. I'm really liking how this looks. It's really soft. It's a merino wool, and I just really enjoy this yarn a lot. It's so soft. It feels so good to work with. It feels like slightly rustic, but still soft. Rustic, I would say, more in how it knits up, less in how it feels. It's not scratchy at all. It's really soft, but it's not as fine as your typical merino. And that might be because it's DK. I don't know, but it's just something about it that's really special. I wish you could touch it because it's great. And with these, I will be making the chestnut sweater by Petite Knit. I really wanted a kind of oversized drop shoulder turtleneck, and that one by Petite Knit is exactly the right vibe. And then from the same store, I don't know exactly what went through my mind, other than I loved this color, and it was soft. I was kind of my partner wanted to leave. He was waiting outside. We were getting really tired. We were having a long day, and I was like, I need to leave, but I'm not ready. And so I picked up this, and I'm really happy that I did, because I really like it. It's Plump by Mrs. Moon, and it's a super fine sustainable merino, and so 80% super fine sustainable merino and 20% baby alpaca. And so it's a chunky weight. It's pretty thick. I'll hold a piece. Oh, can I find something? So you can see the color. And the color is peppermint cream. And immediately when I saw this, I was like, This is going to be either a balaclava or a hat, whichever I have enough yarn for. But I just think this is going to be such a nice hat, and I am going to be making a charcoal gray coat in the new year. And look how nice that's going to look together. Obviously, this is not going to pair with this necessarily, but this is like kind of the color of the coat. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. It's definitely going to be a hat, and I should just cast it on soon because it'll knit up super quickly and then I can wear it. So that's very nice. And then, was that all? No, I got one more thing. And I kind of wish I hadn't wound this up, but I really wanted to cast on socks. And so I'll show you where I'm at. Oh, now that I'm knitting in the daytime, I can actually see the stripiness. It's Lazy Lion, I believe. It's a finger weight self-striping yarn. This is what the ball looks like. It's green, it's got green and blue and purple and like a rose color. It's really, really pretty. And I've started a very small part of a sock. And I believe this is just, I'll have to put the pattern, I'll put the pattern in the description box as well. But this is just, it's a 3x1 ribbed sock. And you can see the striping that's happening. I believe you can see it there. Yeah. So I really am enjoying working with this. I bought 52 weeks of socks recently. This pattern is not in there. It's a free one though. But I really wanted to start doing more sock knitting, and my cat hair is really embedded in here. There we go. Off she goes. So yes, I'm excited to be knitting these up, and I really just like having a nice like little sock. It's so small, and it's just nice to knit up while I'm like watching TV or something. I've been watching Wednesday, which I've been really liking. Also in London, we went on our very first day to Liberty. And honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. I didn't realize it was like a gigantic department store. I was very overwhelmed and kind of confused. And then once I looked at the map, I was like, oh, okay, I know where we have to go. We have to go to the fabric section. That's the only section I want to go to. But they had their Christmas display out. It was beautiful. The building is amazing. It's so, so, so pretty. I'm really pleased that we went. And it was just, honestly, it was just stunning. Just a really beautiful building and a really beautiful store. The fabric store in particular was really stunning. And I got a couple fabrics that I will show you. So I got this Liberty Tana Lawn. I think it's so nice. I think I didn't get too much of this one, maybe a yard. And I'm honestly not sure what it'll be. It'll probably be a blouse, but it's so beautiful and it's so soft. So I'm really pleased I got this. And yeah, I just want to double check. It's Tana Lawn, so it's cotton. Yeah, I love this one. I love the colors of it. It kind of like, there's a bit of a color thing happening here. Unintentional, but I think it's just the palette that I'm going for. And then, oh, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this fabric is. I think it's a silk. I'll have to look at my receipt later, but I saw this and immediately was just blown away by it. It's maybe a cotton silk. But this is I'll try to show it to you a little bit further away so you can see. This is the fabric. It's got a big floral motif on it. Here, that's what it looks like when it's not held up double. And oh, I just think it's so pretty. And I'm gonna make a dress out of this for sure. I haven't decided what yet, but probably just something to really show off the fabric. But it's really beautiful and it feels really nice, and I'm really happy with this one. So yeah, this was in Liberty. This was our first day. We were going to visit some friends or get some drinks with friends. And I purposefully looked up, what was in the area before we were meeting them. And it was the Liberty store. It was like across the street from where we were getting drinks. And so I asked my partner if we could go there a little bit early to check out the Liberty store. And he was very sweet, and we did. And I'm really happy that we did get to do that. So that's everything that I got from London. We were in London for 3 days, and we had been to a lot of like the touristy stuff before, because I've been to London quite a few times, But one of my favorite things that I did that was new was we went to the Museum of the Home. I believe it's in Hastings. No, I'm so sorry. My brain is so trashed right now. But I will put everything again in the description box or on the screen. But it's called the Museum of the Home, and it's really, really worth it. It is an incredibly beautiful museum that dates back, 400 years from now in England, and they had their Christmas displays up. So what they were doing, or their holiday displays up, I should say. And they had different rooms by different years and different demographics of people, as well as sort of, old artifacts and stuff from different homes and different periods. And I just really enjoyed it. It was really beautiful. I hadn't really ever been to something like that before. And, it really plays into like my voyeurism, because I love like looking at people's homes. And I think, something like that, like especially when it's historical, it just like ticked all the boxes for me. So that was London. We went to the Loop in London. And yeah, my one like really like hot recommendation, I would say, if you're gonna go to the Loop in London, go to the vegan tofu restaurant, and maybe hit up the Museum of the Home. I believe they're not far from each other. I don't know. Anyways, that's my recommendation for London. Of course, there's so many other things that you can do. This is just what I would do if I went back. All right, next, Berlin. I only went to one yarn store in Berlin. I wasn't gonna go because I had bought all this stuff in London, but my friend who I was staying with was like, we absolutely need to go to this yarn store. So she took me there, and I'm so happy she did. We went to Wohlen, I believe it would be pronounced in German, Wohlen. And what a beautiful yarn store. I really immediately felt so comfy there. The staff was so lovely. It's in another really cool neighborhood. There's a bookstore around there that's really cool. I also love that you kind of, in Berlin, if you've ever been, this was my first time in Berlin, and so I really liked going in through like the courtyards, and then finding the yarn store within this sort of courtyard that feels hidden, but is actually public for people to visit. And so we went into Wohlen, and I wanted something again that I couldn't get at home, because that's the kind of the point for me, is I could have picked up like BC Garn or something else, but I really wanted something that I didn't have. I ended up getting these minis. I'm thinking of maybe making a scarf with them. They are Tulliver sheep Brandenburg merino, and it's German merino wool from Brandenburg. And it's, pack of minis, and they're naturally dyed in Brandenburg. So yeah, these are all naturally dyed. The packaging is quite rumpled because I traveled a lot with them, but I'll show you up close. This pink is so pretty, and this blue, I have no idea what this would have been dyed with to get that blue, because it's all natural dye. And then you've got these like muted colors over here. I'm thinking maybe a scarf or mittens. I haven't decided yet. But I'm really pleased with these. I love the colors, and they're so pretty. So that's that. And then I also got this, oh my gosh, this was Sandnes Garn Alpaca. Yes. And this is what it looks like up close. It's really, really fuzzy, and I think it's going to be super warm, and it matches well with the hat that I was making and finished on my trip, which I'll actually show in a little bit. So wait till the end and I'll pull that up. But I really wanted it to match, and it does. So this is going to be a mitten. It's knit flat, so it'll then kind of come around like that. Yeah, anyways, that's my mitten. Those were the yarns that I got in Berlin. A few things that we did in Berlin that I really liked was going to the Lucia Christmas market. I think that was a highlight for me. We had never done a Christmas market like that before. The German Christmas markets, I will say, are like, they do live up to the hype. We went to a couple. We went to another one in Braunschweig, which is about 2.5 hours west of Berlin if you're driving. And we were there staying with our friend's parents, and we went for a nice, beautiful hike, and we went to another Christmas market over there. So definitely try to get out to the Christmas markets if that's something that you're into and you go around this time of year, I really loved it. Otherwise, Berlin has such amazing cafes, and I really, really liked going into the courtyards and the cafes that were in courtyards. We always go on walking tours when we're in new cities, and I highly recommend that. We learned so much in Berlin. It has such an interesting and complex history, and I'm really happy that I finally got to go to Berlin because it has been on my list for quite a while. After Berlin, we went to Rotterdam, Amsterdam, and Utrecht. If you do go, I would do a walking tour. We did a really great walking tour in Utrecht, and then we also had beers at this amazing Belgian brewery that was in an old hidden church, because Utrecht was Calvinist at the time, and all the Catholic churches had to be hidden. So this was a beautiful hidden Catholic church that is now a bar. I thought that was really cool. I love the canals in Utrecht. They're really interesting, really different from in Amsterdam and in Rotterdam. And I went into a yarn store there. I didn't buy anything. They had a lot of Lang yarn, like predominantly Lang yarn, and I do like Lang a lot, but I was like, I could get this at home. But it was a really beautiful yarn store, and I really just loved how they made the store about the yarn. Like the decor was just to show off the yarn, and I really liked that, and it was very inviting and colorful and bright. After Utrecht, we went to Amsterdam, and of course I went to Stephen and Penelope, and I did get a couple things. I got 2 skeins of this onion nettle yarn. I'll hold it close so you can see. It's a nettle sock yarn, so it's meant to be all natural. This is the color Sand, I believe. Yeah, it's the color Sand. And so it's from onion, and it's sock yarn in natural fibers. So it's 70% wool and 30% nettle fibers. So instead of using nylon, you use the nettle, and that's where you get the strength from. I am going to be knitting I'm going to be knitting a pattern from my 52 Weeks of Socks book, because I really wanted, because it's a solid color, I wanted a lovely motif in the sock pattern, but I haven't done socks in a while, so that's why I'm knitting this one first, and then I'll knit this second. But I was really feeling socks this time around, so I bought 2 sock yarns. So I got this yarn. That was all I got for yarn. Oh, here it is. I got this lovely wooden measuring tape from, I believe it's Knit Pearl. Just says it there. It's just really beautiful. Mostly I got it because I didn't bring one, and I was really desperately needing to measure my hat that I was making, or something else. Anyways, I needed to measure, and so I was like, okay, I'll buy this, and it's beautiful. So I'm happy I got that. And then I got some labels from Stephen and Penelope. I'll pull one out so you can see. It's not like they say the name on them or anything, but I'll know. And it just says 100% wool, wash and lay flat. And then on this side, it says handmade from wool, which I think is cute. So I've got some labels from them. And then, I just bought another little notion because I needed darning needles. So I got some darning needles. And I think that is everything from my trip. We did go to Paris, so I actually didn't go into a store in Paris. I was feeling pretty yarned out, to be honest. But I did finish a hat that I was working on, so I'm gonna grab that really quickly. I knit this with Espace Tricot's Bonnie DK and Bliss Mohair. This is a color that was a trial color, so they don't sell this one, but I would definitely recommend using this yarn if you'd like to give it a shot. It's so nice to knit with, and it feels so good on your fingers, and it's so soft. It was just a pleasure to knit. And so I finished this while I was traveling, and I didn't bring a hat because I was like, I'm gonna finish this hat. But I was so cold because it was really cold over there. The whole trip, everywhere was cold except for London. But it's December, so it made sense. But yeah, I finally, when I finished this, I immediately put it on. I didn't even have anything to weave in the ends until we went to Stephen and Penelope. And then that's when I bought the stuff, but I still didn't fully. Anyways, this is what it looks like. I'll show you up close how fuzzy that is. I really like it. Yeah, And I think that's everything. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.